Hello, good afternoon. This is Melvin here. Today, I'm alone. Mio is actually now preparing himself to be at Tokyo in the next few days. He's actually doing his swab test. He have to do a number of swab tests before he's allowed to enter Japan, Tokyo for the Paralympics. Now, here is me, and I look a bit tired today because I didn't sleep well last night until morning because I was chasing some hot news. Well, this hot news I can't bring into this program though, but I'm sure you will be listening to what's going on in Malaysia in the political scenes. We hope that it will be solved. We will have a new government soon. Well, as early as the weekend, I hope, because we are now solely under care of the caretaker prime minister without a cabinet. So we hope that things will settle soon. And this time, I think I hope the new prime minister, whoever he is, please look into the welfare of all Malaysians, regardless of race, and not just preach, practice it, and ask your team, your cabinet team, please, most important, take care of all the Malaysians at heart, because we need everything that supports us, because we are badly hit. It's been too long, our lockdown, and it's been over 18 months, 20 months, and like me, I've been around sitting at home for almost 3 months right now. I do miss office, and I hope that I could get back to office very soon, just like every one of us today. I mean, listening to this program. Now, we have two topics we're going to address two, as usual, that's concerned about our life. One of which is on the Malaysian shopping mall retails, on the retails. It's quite alarming. It's also been they're also facing a lockdown for 3 full months, almost 3-4 months now. Today is the 18th of August, and we do not know when the malls are allowed to reopen. And the Malaysian Shopping Mall Association, which is known as BPK, say the latest survey showed the majority of the malls has been between 10 to 20% occupancy still operating in their premises. What it means that if there's a mall that have 10 outlets or 100 outlets, only 10 to 20 outlets are still operating, which is mostly probably the F&B and all these things. The others are all closed. So what they are facing, the business owner, they actually owns a lot of renters, overdue renters, salaries, They also have some lay off of the staff or salary cuts. So they are facing a lot of cash flow crisis at the moment due to this long COVID-19 lockdown. And it's quite alarming because I have friends in the retail business. Honestly, I do not know how I dare not to call them and say how's the situation, because I think you should know how bad it is in the retail line right now. So they have the staff to maintain and all these things. So it's very bad. I hope that something needs to be done. Hopefully, that's why I say just now, hopefully the new prime minister and the government comes in, look into this matter. I mean, although I recognize every day we have this crisis with high number. I mean, even though last 2 days the number has dropped down below 20,000, but it's still hovering around 19,000, still very high. And but we have to have a new SOP that warrants us to open up our business, rather than we don't know what brings us tomorrow. We have no hope, sort of things. So have some life. I'll give us some life back. I hope the authorities, the new government that will be coming in soon, I believe, because the shopping mall associations expect a further drop this year. Last year, December, 60% of the malls saw 10% of the tenants closing down, but they expect more by this December 2021. So it can't prolong any more further, because even though they say if it's open up end of this year, it will take them about more than a year to recover, which again, when their business start, they have to start paying the renters, there's the operation cost. So it will take more than a year for them to recover. So it's not a good sign. I mean, it will affect everyone's income, the take-home pay, and it's a chain reaction. If those who study economics will know that it's not just me. If I have less income, I spend less. It's a cycle, you know. And the what they say is that even though the business will open, let's say they allow them to open after lockdown, the tendency people would have they have less saving right now to buy anything beside necessity, and people like me who have been staying in the house for over 3 months, most to 3 months, I will feel reluctant to go out, even though I need a haircut right now, but I tell myself, let's not rush into it. Let's see how the situation next 2-3 weeks. We will see, is there any news that because of people queuing out, overpacking the barbershop or hair salons that increase of cases again, you know. So I have to wait and see for next 2-3 weeks. They say, okay, things are settled down, it's good. Then probably I will make appointments with my barber and say, okay, I will come at such dates and such times, not just to crash in and hope for a vacancy. I mean, the appointment. We should not do that right now. I think we have to learn that every time it permits, we make appointments to see them. You know, that's something I wish to also advise everyone. You see, many malls on the brink of collapse. How bad it is, you know. I've not been in a mall for more than 3 months, honestly, even before the lockdown. I guess it's pathetic. I hope these scenes will never appear again soon. And let's hope for a better time. So what's next? Do I have anyone that share my opinions? Oh yes, I have Fabian. Hi Fabian, how are you today? And where's Mr. Hall? He's not in yet, I believe, and not with us right now. Now the other second topics which I like to address that concerns our teenage, because why I say teenage, because we have yet to roll out the vaccination program for those teenagers between the age of 12 to 17 years old. Right, those who are probably in the secondary school at the moment. They have been saying NIP will be expanded to include individuals aged between 12 to 15 years old with certain medical conditions, and all individuals aged 16, 17 old with or without certain medical condition. This is the first batch, the age 12 to 17. And those who have medical conditions will be prioritized first. You have to tell the authorities, okay, my kids and such things, and they'll give priorities. Even Kari said, when he was on responsible for this program, he said it will be this program will be carried out in special vaccination centers, such as in hospital, in clinics, or selected school, which I brought up yesterday as well. Schools should be a place that probably offer these vaccinations facilities for their students. Instead of getting these teenagers going to join the normal crowd where you find thousands of them in a day, probably they should do it in the schools of their own respective school, or a school where the surrounding school, like where I come from, St. John. So we have the primary school, we have the secondary school, and down the road we have the convent school, for the girls. So we have a simple locations where all the three schools can join in. So we do not need to mix with the others adults in the normal centers. And also, if those teachers or the workers are not vaccinated, they can do at the schools as well. So even Dr. Noor Hisham has highlighted three categories of individuals for the teenagers: those with allergies, low immune systems, and others so-called to undergo a pre-vaccination evaluations. Yeah. So the parents, please take notes. If you know your kids have certain allergies or low immune system, please highlight. So the authorities will advise you, what are the risk factor, what they should do or should not do. I have this old report. It says that in June 15, Malaysia National Pharmaceutical Regulations Agency has actually approved Pfizer biotech vaccine for the children's age 12 to 17. But of late, July 28, Putrajaya suspend the COVID-19 jab for Malaysians after US reports that there's a lot of heart complication for its teens who got Pfizer's vaccine. So until today, I believe very unfortunate, there's no brands yet that has been decided. And that's why yesterday, please, I say, hold on, do not have the school reopens, even it's delayed to October the 3rd, but we should give it more time, as it is. 2021 is almost gone, almost end of the year already. So we should close the school for this year and concentrate what's the best vaccination for the teenage or for the children. Get them vaccinated first before thinking of school reopens. And as Mio say, he's not going to send his daughter to school, to his primary school, even school reopens on October 3rd, because he's a bit worried too. Every parent, I guess, will be worried about the children, even though, because we know that there's when you're in school, you're mixed around with hundreds of people, we have adults there. The virus now have new variants. It could also attack the children, So we have to play safe. Oh, Mr. Hall is in. Good afternoon to you as well. So these are big topics. Without me around or anyone around, there's no much of interactions unless I hope the viewers will join me and we shared our opinions together. We can talk. Otherwise, it will be quite a short program today, and it will be for the next 2 weeks, because we'll be away for 2 weeks, because he will spend the next 2-3 days for his daily swab test, and after which he will fly to Tokyo. He will be isolated, quarantined in the hotel for X number of days before he will do his few days of assignments, and after which he will fly back to Malaysia. He have to vaccinate. He will be observe his quarantine again and his swab test again before he will be released home. So all in all, we figure about at least 2 weeks to not be around. Oh yes, Kendrick has a question. Why wasn't teenagers allowed to vaccinate before? Well, why? Because the vaccines was not sure that the formula was meant for younger adults or children. It was designed or so-called formulated for adults. That's why as time goes by, when it's time, they say, okay, I think there's improved versions, or through the so-called research, we need to find out that's whether it's the time, it's right time for the children or teenagers to vaccinate it. I guess now we have actually agreed, the government has agreed, the past government, but now it's still on hold because of the America has actually has said that there are incidents that after receiving the jab, the teenagers, they get heart complications, they get heart inflammations, as many as 40 cases per 1 million dose. 40 cases as per 1 million doses for the teenagers. This is pretty high, as versus for adults. So, but nevertheless, I think we hope that it will be fast, some improved formula that's able to get our children, teenagers to be vaccinated as well in the whole entire nations, So we hope that they're not left out. But meantime, we have to be careful, because even though the mortality rate for children is low, but we never want to take its life is alive, and we don't want to take the risk at all. Right. So I hope that's answered your question, Kendrick. And yes, you say that's why it's safe now for them to vaccinate it. Well, they thought so until June, July, but now of late, the Minister of Health, the previous Minister of Health, says not because of the findings. So they have actually stopped that. Then they have not found any replacements or any other brands that actually can serve the purpose. Right. Kari did say that he said, even though none of the reported cases of cardiac sites of effect developed into serious cases or cause death, but then the government decided to hold on to that program because they need to find out more whether it's safe to go ahead, because children or teenagers are fighting so-called the immune system will be probably lower than the adults, So that's why I say I hope that in the beginning of this show, I hope that our political scenes will settle down very soon. Hopefully by this weekend, there's a new prime minister, new cabinet, new government to look seriously into this and advise what's the best thing need to be done. As reported, the vaccinations rates for adults going good in Malaysia, but yet we have yet to develop the vaccinations program for the children or teenagers, those below 17 years of age. So even those in the phase 2, phase 3, again, those they are actually allowed to dine out if you are fully vaccinated. Please do not bring your children there if they are not vaccinated at all, because until today, there's no laws that's disallowed. I mean, we have voiced out the operator and the staff of the restaurants to be fully vaccinated to be operate. So there's no law saying that to forbid them. But I encourage, those operator, please make sure that if you want to open, make sure that yourself, the whole kitchen, the whole staff are fully vaccinated as well, and just to ensure the safety of everyone. Because yesterday morning when I went up to my neighborhood, there's 2 shops that actually closed down, kopitiam, because the staff contacted positive cases, and 1 chicken rice store. This is the second time they closed because the owner also contacted. The first time was the staff. Now it seems to be the mother of the owner of the shop that contact positive case. So yesterday noon, the chairman of the morning market in my area actually call me and to say that, yeah, they finished the meeting with DPKL. They still now fine-tuning the SOP. And I will say, okay, I will advise you whether once we now fine-tuning what's the best SOP now we need to implement, and will let me know in a few days' time when they actually can open. So I think it's good. I think not rush into things. We will make sure that not even those people who go to morning markets get fully vaccinated. Those stalls owners or their staff must be fully vaccinated as well, because as you know, there was a report in Hong Kong last week. Tons of frozen fishes had to be disposed because they contacted COVID-19 virus in the frozen fishes. It's now, imagine in the market we have those veggies, meats. The virus can actually resides there, and you can bring it back home, and it can be spread around in your home. So that's how dangerous it is right now. So we have to be careful. And I do see some people wearing, when they go to UN supermarket, they wear glove, plastics. It's a good practice, And I seen a gentleman, an elderly gentleman, he bring his little bottle of spray. Everything he touched, before he touched, it was spray. Before he touched, everything. So we should not laugh at them. It's a good practice, and we should follow the same. I mean, this is a new norm. I don't say that. Hey, I'm not that. I'm luck. I have that luck. I won't get contacted. You never know. So we have to be very careful. Well, that's so much of me to say today. It's most 21, 26, 22 minutes right now. But I have to say goodbye because one person is a bit lonely. There's not much of interactions. I hope tomorrow there's more people that interact with me and send me your ideas, your opinions, and we see how tomorrow we're next topics. And of course, after this program, I will zoom in to see what's the latest around. Because today by 4 o'clock, all the politicians, all the MPs have to submit who is the preference choice of Prime Minister in the coming government. So stay tuned. We'll probably know something by this evening. Oh, Mr. Ho, I think the government should have all the teenagers to vaccines from now. They are our future of the country and also human beings. COVID-19 or Delta virus airborne, never say that our children. Yes, never. We don't take granted they're still alive. Well, Mr. Ho, there's no government right now. We see who is the government. Hopefully, for the next 2-3 days, we know who's the government. We should throw this question to them so that they work fast. And I hope whoever took the portfolio, don't think that I'm new on board. I need to study. No such things. Whoever pick up to the Minister of Health or whoever to replace KJ, please do it immediately at now. Don't buy time because we don't have much time. We don't have much time as in facing this COVID-19's pandemic, because even though the last 2 days number is down, but it's still on the round of 19,000. That's very big. Now we should not wait and see attitude. Because it was reported, and I mean, even in overseas, they recognize the slow decisions that made by the government actually kills or get more routine cases, but because of the slow reactions. Ding dong here, ding dong there. You know how fast New Zealand's Prime Minister works? Just because yesterday reported just one single case, the whole nation knocked down. That should be the speed of it. Those days, when I was young, when I started to work, my manager teach me, I was a bit, when you are young, you take things slow. So I will do it tomorrow or day after, You see, when he asked me, call me to a room. If I poke you with a needle on your finger, how fast will you react? I would say immediately, because there's a pain. Then he actually tell me, I remember, he tells me until today, he said, that's how fast you should react. Do not take things so slowly. So I always tell my colleagues as well, I poke you with a needle, this is how fast I want the job to be done. I'm not cruel, but I'm saying that we should not be too relaxed when things are. We know things are very important. It causes a lot of serious things if the of life or kind of natures. So because times we are not able to have create no one able to create a time zone that we can walk back. So we don't waste time. I hope the new cabinets comes in. Do not take too long to say that I need to master, I need to know my job and all these things. No, you have to take immediate effect. Will there be any, Mr. Fabian said, will there be any side effect happen to teenagers after jab being administered to them? Well, earlier in my program, we supposedly to have this, I grow up teenage between 12 to 17 with freezer, but now it's on hold because in America, there's a report. There's some effects that inflated the hearts of the teenagers. It's not major, but they have 40 cases in every million doses, which is, for them, they say it's quite high. So they're still studying it. And KJ actually put a stop to it before he resigned. That one, even though it's not a serious case, but 40 cases of inflamed hearts after taking this freezer, which was approved by the government in June. That's why it's on hold. But I think those coming on board soon, I hope that they will explore others brands as well, that probably the teenagers is able to take it. Probably it was too strong for teenagers because people like adults, our system is a bit old and so-called our organs are a bit more powerful and can take all the vaccinations side effect. But the teenage ones, the younger one probably are not able to. But we hope they will be coming soon fast because and I hope the school will not reopen. I mean, for my personal view, hold on to it. 2021, I mean, you open on October 3rd. After one the school closed again for new semesters and all this thing. No, let's be more prepared because we don't want to open, close. That's for 1.5 years, or sorry, it's more than that, 20 months. The schools, even offices, open, close. It's no joke, it's no fun, because we can't move forward at all. Right. So, well, I have to end today. Well, it's almost half an hour already, even though it's a solo case. Thanks, Ho and Fabian, to keep me company. You and Kendrick, I hope to see you tomorrow. Share your opinions, and we are all here to share, right? So I wish you all a good day from Hot Issue, and please, well, I forgot to promote Now mobile app. It's able in the Apple Store, Android stores. It's a free service. We want to empower everyone here to take care of the environment, the communities, and we'll keep you posted once you have launched with us. Today, we have also received a complaint on dead trees around the neighborhood. We have already actually sent to the local councils for the immediate attention, and I hope they will act now as well. Now, so good day to everyone. I will see you tomorrow, same time, 12 noon at Hot Issue. For what's for lunch, right? Goodbye.